The MCU is in shambles.
MCU's alive,
but it is also so back.
It's so back, man.
It's
It's
Jover
and
it's Barack. Cam, this is your segment. Walk us through the MCU right
now. Yeah, we're just gonna go through. There's a whole lot of news. There's a bunch of rumors. A whole lot of fun stuff coming. Just I love the Twitter discourse. It's so fun. So I've fuck it. We'll just start with this week. It was this Variety article basically talking about how the MCU is in shambles.
Love that word for some reason. It's like, you know, any word when someone uses it over and over is
because it's what like that Mark Divalis or Magnificent or whatever his name is on TikTok or Twitter. He kind of like coined the phrase because he says everything's in shambles. That's like his content 90% of the time is just yelling that something's in shambles.
Oh,
but he yells that the MCU is in shambles, and so then everyone kind of hopped on that this time. So we'll start with like the not bad news. This is what I consider the good news. The writer for Blade Runner 2049 and Logan, I'm finding his name right now. Damn you. Michael Green, I believe it is. Yep. Michael Green, who wrote Logan. He also wrote Blade Runner 2049, among other things. I believe Alien Covenant was listed. Someone said that as a bad thing, but I think, Seth, you enjoy that movie, correct?
Alien Covenant?
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, you said that last week. You like it.
Yeah.
He also wrote, people gave me a list of like bad movies he also wrote because they didn't want me hyping it up too much, I guess. But
I'll chat. You keep talking. I'll chat.
Yeah. So John Green, writer of those, or Michael Green is on officially, I believe, writing Blade, the upcoming Blade movie with Mahershala Ali. He's the writer of Blade Runner, writer of Logan. Blade Runner 2049. Sorry.
Green Lantern?
Yes, Green Lantern. That's the one. He was the writer of the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds, which is not great. But yeah, he's writing Blade. That's good news, in my opinion, just especially like Mahershala Ali allegedly almost left the project because of the writing issues. Blade was pushed to be like the fourth lead of the movie. Absurd when it was
meant to come out yesterday, wasn't it?
It was meant to come out yesterday. Yeah. Hilarious tweets replying to that, like just announced at Hall H, like Blade will come 11/3/2023, and people are like, man, now watching or whatever. Hilarious tweets. Mess of a production. I hope they get it back on track. This article, to me, if you did see the Variety article, kind of sounds like Kevin Feige is grabbing everyone by the neck and saying, figure it the fuck out, basically. At least that's the way I'm going to spin it. But then there were other reports that possibly shifting from Kang the Conqueror to Dr. Doom, who Seth, I don't think you knew who Dr. Doom was.
I do know. It's the Fantastic Four guys there.
He's a Fantastic Four villain. He is a much bigger villain in the comics, and he's a big part of the Secret Wars comic, to my knowledge, at least.
I know George said he's like not like George. Just to give George's view, I think he mentioned that he doesn't think that he could be as powerful as like a Kang to operate the universe, to be like a Thanos.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think in the comics though he has that ability. I think he gets like the Infinity Gauntlet. Again, I'm not a huge comic guy, so if you are and you're listening to this, you can tell me I'm a fucking idiot. But I watch a lot of like theory videos and shit like that, so I get comic knowledge at least from that. But he can be big enough to be the big bad, and I'm pretty confident. Like after this multiversal phase, like I said, he's big in the Secret Wars. I think he was supposed to be like the next big bad. And so it sounds like they're kind of rushing maybe to him. That was just a rumor. I don't think they'll drop Jonathan Majors unless something crazy comes out in this trial. I called Jonathan Majors a piece of shit last week. Got told like innocent till proven guilty. I called him a piece of shit on my TikTok review. Got a million comments about that. I stand by.
Saw those.
Yeah, I stand by. Piece of shit. I
thought you were about to say I called Jonathan Majors. Like,
take on this. Gave him a ring.
I called him.
Yeah, good pal Jonathan Majors just gave him a ring. Was like, hey man, what's going on? No, but I don't think they'll drop him. Again, yeah, he is innocent till proven guilty, I guess. But also, there are reports of him just being an asshole on set, and I can handle an asshole on set. And that's totally fine. But then you get reports of being like an abusive piece of shit. And you're probably not that great of a person. You don't see very good, upstanding people get random allegations. Like there's always something behind it. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. If you want to say I'm an idiot and you want to comment that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, that's completely fine. I know the trial has not happened. I'm still going to stand that he's a piece of shit. The article also mentioned, as Tyler sent to us, they were considering possibly going off of Kang after the performance of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. If you think for 1 second that he is anywhere near the issue with that movie, you got something wrong in your head. They were saying, like, even before the allegations came out, there was possible talks of switching up on Kang. You fucking idiots! If that's what the Marvel Studios believes is the issues with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Cover up anyway. Does anyone actually believe that was the case?
No, I don't believe it for a second. It 100% is because of the allegations. It's just a funny thing to put in the article. I don't know if you guys saw the quote in that article. An insider who has seen all of Loki basically said the MCU is fucked. If the MCU is fucked if they try to Loki's through 5 of 6 episodes. I haven't seen the ending, but basically said the MCU's fucked if they try to move off Kang just because of what Loki sets up, and they are, because I think also there are a million tweets and they're hilarious that, like, Kang is without a doubt the easiest character in the world to recast, given that his entire thing is there are millions of him. There's one of him in every universe and they've all banded together. The easiest character in the world to recast. They don't have to look the same. They could be anything. They're all Kang though. Like that's the funny part. They could just recast him very easily, but I don't think they will. I think the trial will happen. Nothing will come out of it. Tex, I'm sure, like, he did some stuff and he won't get charged for anything. And then people will sweep it under the rug, which sucks, but I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. So that was the next big piece of news, is that it's possible they might leave Kang and go to Dr. Doom. Any thoughts on that from you guys? I know you're not huge into this stuff, but
I don't know enough about the Doom man to comment.
He's a very good character.
He looks kind of cool.
I don't know enough about him. Like, I guess whether they go forward with Kang or, and again, this is all with like the caveat, like Jonathan Majors, we don't know what's going to happen with them, but hopefully it turns out well for justice. In terms of, like, if he, if everything comes out that he was the piece of shit that we thought he was, like, I hope, that we never see him again in any movie ever. But in terms of like Kang or Dr. Doom, because like you mentioned, you could easily recast Kang. I just want a cohesive story, man. Like, I'm completely out on the MCU at this point, but that still doesn't mean I'm still going to watch them and, like, probably have a decent time with them. Like, I just want something. I just want a clear vision.
Would you watch what? Part of the podcast? If you weren't a creator, would you watch them?
I still would. Yes, I still would be watching the MCU if I wasn't part of the podcast. And then that's kind of why, like, I really want just a cohesive story. And I feel like that's the only thing that worries me about the whole, like, changing to Dr. Doom is it seems like from outsider perspective is that they'd have to change a lot of stuff.
You're too deep, especially like him being in Loki, and maybe you can argue that, like, a lot of people haven't seen Loki and Quantumania didn't do well, so maybe you can, but you're in too deep. He's been in 3 projects.
Like, how many people have seen it? Just they've made projects just out there. People can go back to it.
Yeah. And also I said this, like, whatever you think about Jonathan Majors, I tweeted before, like, his allegations, at the time, like, he was one of my favorite actors because he's so fucking good in everything he does. I'm not gonna argue that. They will not. I don't think they'll find someone as menacing as him or as good as him. And unfortunate, because that's probably the reason they're keeping him. If he was shit and everyone hated Kang, they would probably kick him to the curb pretty quickly. But Kang is the only reason I feel like people are still, like, having somewhat bit of hope or for this cinematic universe right now that they've got going, because it is out of whack and it's messed up, and they got to figure it out. And that's why I like to think Kevin Feige's grabbing everyone by the neck and saying, like, get your shit together. We're not losing money because the Marvels, I hope it's good. It's going to lose money. It's not making the $1 billion that Captain Marvel did.
How high budget is it for a Marvel?
It's a $200 million, $250 million. No, it came out right that it was like $500 million, but they got like $150 million from the UK or something like that. I remember the crazy budget news that came out.
Yeah, there's been enough news about the budget that I could, if I wanted to make a TikTok in a month, I could easily make a TikTok saying it was very profitable, or I could make a TikTok saying it's one of the biggest flops. Just because at one point it was reported to be like $100 million budget, one point is $500 million. I'll just pick and choose whatever narrative I want to push for the MCU.
It's not making money.
It is. No, it's not. It's not going to make money. And also that article like kind of touched on it, but basically mentioned that it had like middling reviews and had a little bit of post-production hell, which is what a lot of these movies have had. Which middling reviews, you're going to make jack shit money, even if you had good reviews. Sorry. I think you're going to break even at best. The Marvels is just not going to make money, which sucks because a lot of it is like it's 3 women leads and the MCU fan base just sucks for the most part, but you can't fight that. Someone's getting a call time. Also Blade, I guess, has like $100 million budget or less than. Good. Keep it grounded. Don't use a shit ton of CGI. Make it more practical. You can use a lot more money on important things if you make it practical, and that's what Blade should be. So that's hopeful news. The big doo-doo news from the article, which is just a rumor and probably not true, but it is the big doo-doo fart news, is that they're thinking about bringing like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson all back for an Avengers movie. That's when I'll say the MCU is in shambles. If I say the MCU is in shambles, you're in shambles. Like
that is fucking a trap.
The only reason I wouldn't say it to that news is because I'm 100% certain it doesn't happen. I'm pretty confident they'll bring them back at some point for like a secret invasion as like a cameo.
Okay, yeah,
like a cameo or something. It'll be like the Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man No Way Home, and that I fully expect it's going to happen one day. If they are the leads of an Avengers movie, like soon,
that renders the biggest project the MCU has ever done meaningless. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It completely does, because Endgame, the whole emotional build-up for especially Marvel fans, that would render the whole thing meaningless. And not to mention, Endgame was like, what, 4 years ago at this point? Maybe 4.5 years ago, 2019? Yeah, like, what the fuck are they doing? I mean, maybe they won't do it. I think this is the stupidest idea ever. It's like,
no, I'm totally with you.
You're stepping down to like the Fast and Furious universe.
Yeah,
you really are.
Totally with you.
It's terrible.
But they didn't say they're like, I don't know. And again, like I have I have nothing with the MCU. Like I'm not interested really in it much anymore anyways, but like I don't know. I just don't feel like they're going to be pulling him back for an actual role in a movie. I feel like it's going to be like a Secret Wars cameo.
I think they'll be back for Secret Wars.
I can see them doing it. I can see it happening.
But I don't think Robert Downey Jr. would want to, though. So that's why I feel like it's just a cameo. I don't think he would want to be an actual.
Maybe Robert Downey wouldn't, but you'll still get butts in seats with Chris Evans, and he's been on a stinker run. And also, they can throw $1 billion at them.
Why would Robert Downey Jr. not do it? He's done so many bad projects for money in the past.
That's true.
What
remember Doolittle?
Yeah, he got paid so much for that. I think Robert Downey Jr. People have been saying he wouldn't take it because of Oppenheimer. He's done great roles before. You know, Zodiac. He still takes things for money.
I think there's only one man who can fix. There's only one thing that can fix the MCU from going to complete shambles, and that's the Academy, and that's giving Robert Downey Jr. an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. And then I think officially he'll be like, "All right, I can't be taking these silly roles."
I don't think he would. I think he'd. Robert Knight, I mean, all the power to him, because
I think Scarlett Johansson is the least likely to come back. To be quite honest,
because they also kind of did her dirty too.
I agree.
Yeah, they did. They kind of like fucked her with the whole streaming release and everything. But I think she made money, and she's like a producer on the Marvels. I don't know.
She's the best actor out of any of the Avengers.
I agree. 100%. I agree. Chris Evans is the last, and I love Chris Evans, but like he's clearly.
I think Scarlett Johansson is like. She transcends an Avenger actor. You know,
she's the only one I feel like who has had like a true filmography outside of the MCU.
She's had some really interesting roles.
Marriage Story, Jojo Rabbit, Chef. I'm sure there's a whole lot of more that I'm not. Asteroid City. Yeah, like she's the only one outside of the MCU that's like made it. Her and honestly Jeremy Renner, but like they had the smallest roles in the MCU.
She did like fucking Tyler. She did under the skin,
Mhm.
like a random, do you know what I mean, indie A24 like body horror sci-fi. Like Scarlett Johansson not only is a great actor, but she takes interesting roles. So I'd be really disappointed if she went back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like more so.
Yep. I don't want to linger on it too much, but that just sounds idiotic to me. And then yesterday, the MCU was officially back, releasing its first ever TVMA trailer. So TV mature, or whatever that is in the UK, Seth. So it'll be like the Netflix series type brutality. Probably not the boys level by any means, but at least we'll have blood and we'll be gory, that sort of thing. This is under the new like Marvel Spotlight banner that they're doing, where it's focused on street level characters who are not going to be like, I'm trying to think of the word, impacting the larger MCU scale all that much. So your Daredevils, this is Echo. The trailer is for Echo. Sorry.
Thingy in this. What's the name?
Kingpin. Vincent
Yeah,
D'Onofrio.
yeah.
He kind of, so Echo is a mute character, deaf since she was a kid. In the comics, she has the ability to like mimic fighting, I believe, and mimic anything. But I think they are changing that, and she's just going to be a badass warrior. If I had to guess,
is she a deaf actor?
I believe so. Yeah, I'm pretty confident she is, because she was in Hawkeye. That's where she was introduced. I forget the name. I can figure it out real quick for you.
I haven't watched it yet, but I have heard like from like non-MCU fans, I've heard really good things about the trailer.
Yeah, it genuinely looks like. So here's the thing. I don't know if it's going to be great, but it's going to be more dark, and therefore I bet it receives better public reviews.
Probably.
If
what
I had to guess.
like equate to, like, is that just like what? How does? Is that
What's
like a
up?
Breaking Bad, like mature for the age rating? Like what?
Yeah,
like
so
the TV
it's
version
also,
of R-rated.
yeah, it's the TV version of R-rated. Also, it's written by the Better Call Saul writers, so that's like even a little bit more for hope.
That's actually like really incredible, to be fair. Wow.
Aliqua Cox is her name, and sorry if I didn't pronounce that, but I believe she is a mute actress.
Yeah, I haven't seen an MCU TV show since Moon Knight, I think, and I haven't been interested in them. But I will agree that the Echo trailer, I genuinely thought looked really great. Like, I'm excited for it. Like, I was surprised at how much I really liked the trailer.
This is a classic, like when Kevin Feige said they were not going to hold back punches in Moon Knight and they were going to make it brutal. They very much did. And now, like, you're giving a TVMA rating, so clearly there's something there. Clearly, you're going to at least see like people hitting each other.
This is the first one.
Yeah, this is the very first TVMA. This would be, like Tyler said, like an R-rated. You're going to hear the word shit, maybe. Crazy.
We heard that in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, or fuck, right? Yeah. No, but I it is all dropping at once. Is that good or is that bad? I don't know.
For me, I think I prefer that.
Do you think that it's only two options? It's either this is shit and get it out, or this is pretty good. We need everyone on board quickly.
But then usually with the good ones, they kind of want a weekly. How many episodes is it? Like 6?
6, I believe. I think it's the same.
I think it could be either. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also dropping on Hulu as well. So it's like a little bit of a Hulu and Disney Plus production. I believe you have Disney Plus only, Seth, right? So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like separate from movie news, finance news wise, Disney bought the remaining stock of Hulu this week to fully.
Was that official?
Them.
Like 8.6
so I think
billion.
Part of me thinks the reason Disney Plus and Hulu is both releasing the Echo is because I think they're not going to exist in like a month. I think it's going to be like one service is going to be coming eventually. Now that Disney owns all of Hulu.
They always use Hulu as their like more mature stuff. Like it's Always Sunny. The Simpsons is, I guess, on Disney Plus now. But it was on Hulu, I believe. Who's got Modern Family? Shout out that ABC
Echo
production.
When does Echo drop?
January 10th.
Oh, like
so it's pretty soon. I'm excited for it. Just like I'm not gonna say. I forget what I tweeted. I said I'm not gonna say we're back, but I'm not gonna say that or something like that. So we'll see how it is.
Watch anything to watch this prior?
No, probably not. Because I think so. There's like a backstory in Hawkeye, but it looks like from the trailer they explain the backstory a little bit. Have you seen the Netflix Daredevil series?
No.
it's good, but I don't know if you want to watch it. He's in the show, and that's where Kingpin is from. Like, so if you wanted to like be a little bit more invested in these characters, that's what. I mean, it's probably a little connected to that, but that's not like technically connected to anything anymore. But I think we got some hope, and you know, maybe the Marvels doesn't stink, and people enjoy it at least enough. And honestly, people say the MCU screwed, but if you go Guardians, then Loki season 2, which I think is getting very good reviews from most. I think most people enjoy it. And then Marvels isn't bad. And then Echo is very good, which, you know, could be a long shot. I feel like that's like not a bad stretch compared to
what's the films after Echo? What's the one after
well, there's a whole slate, but it's bad with the writer's strike right now. I believe the next one was supposed to be Deadpool and Wolverine movie, which
they've been delayed, haven't they both?
Yeah, they've got to be delayed at this point. I actually think maybe Captain America New World Order got slated into that time slot because they were further ahead in production. I don't know, man.
Is that the one with...
I don't think like 90% of the movies they announced at...
Is that the one with Anthony Mackie?
Yeah, as Captain America. Yeah. I don't think like 90% of the movies that they've announced are going to come out. Thunderbolts is on there. I don't know any of the TV shows that are on the timeline, but...
So they need Marvel.
Pay your fucking actors and writers, and we can get these movies out because they're all going to get delayed. Shout out Blade for coming out yesterday. But that's all I have in the Marvel minute. It took way longer than a minute, but I just wanted to at least ease the pain a little bit for the Marvel stands. And I'm going to be worse than you've ever seen me before. Go Marvel! I'm back. We're back.
Do you think that Blade will ever come out?
No, man, that movie's not getting made. We've said it for so long. We
said this like a year ago.
Yeah, we've said this for so long. The movie's not getting made.
Sad because I think they could. Blade has some really good material to make a good, dark, kind of action thriller-esque thing. So I think it could work, but I don't know. That's like an MCU project that I'd be looking forward to, I think, Blade, because it's in like modern era. I think he'd be really, especially Mahershala Ali. I think he's a fantastic actor. Well, if it does happen, I don't think he'll be involved anyway because I think he'll be fucked off by that time. Who knows?
Yeah.